People say vampires only exist in movies and stories. But what if I told you that history holds cases where people were found dead without a single drop of blood in their bodies? And the most terrifying part, there was no human responsible for it. This is not imagination. This is based on real historical reports. Reports that were written by officials, by doctors, and by people who experienced it themselves around the 1700s in small isolated villages of Eastern Europe. Life was simple, but also full of fear. No electricity, no advanced medicine. And when something unknown happened, people had only one way to explain it: fear. It started slowly. One person in the village fell sick, then another, and then another. At first, it seemed normal, like any illness, but something felt different. The victims didn't just get sick. They became weaker day by day. Their skin turned pale. Their bodies lost strength. And the most disturbing part, they would often say that something was visiting them at night. They described it in whispers: a shadow standing near their bed, a presence they couldn't fully see, but they could feel. Some said they felt a heavy weight on their chest. Others claimed something was slowly draining their energy, night after night. And then, within days, they died. One of the most famous cases came from a small village in Serbia. A man who had died weeks earlier was suddenly being seen again, not during the day, but at night. Villagers claimed he was visiting his own house, standing silently, watching, and sometimes sitting beside his family members. At first, no one believed it, but then the people who claimed to see him started dying one by one with the same symptoms: weakness, fear, and an unexplained decline until death. Finally, the villagers couldn't ignore it anymore. Mere traumato, though, fear had taken over, so they decided to do something unthinkable. They went to his grave in the middle of the day with shaking hands and terrified hearts, and they dug it open. What they saw wasn't normal. The body, wasn't decomposed. It looked fresh. Its skin had a strange color, and according to reports, there were marks around the mouth that looked like blood. At that moment, panic turned into action without fully understanding what they were dealing with. They made a decision. They took a wooden stake and drove it straight through the heart. And according to witnesses, the moment it happened, a sound came out. Not like a normal sound, but something that no one could forget, and a scream as if the body was still alive. After that incident, the fear didn't end. It spread from one village to another, and soon across different parts of Europe. Similar cases began to appear, graves being opened, bodies found in strange conditions, and people living in constant fear of the night. But here's the question: were these really vampires, or was there something else, something more real and more terrifying, and something that people back then simply didn't understand? In part 2, we will uncover the possible scientific explanations, the hidden truth behind these cases, and whether vampires were ever real or just a fear that became a legend.